I'm Taylor. He's Lewis. This is True Sports episode 40. Um, Lots of NHL trades. My Red Wings were selling. They traded Philip Hronek, Tyler Bertuzzi, Philip Hronek to the Canucks, a team
Yeah.
that for two draft picks. Yeah, Eisenman actually fleeced them. Yeah, that was the Red Wings won that trade hands down. Then Tyler Bertuzzi to the Boston Bruins. Oh man,
Oh, great. Just what they need more.
hey, it's a buyer's market.
I know, but they're running away with with the conference and everything this yeyear. It's just like
The whole
it's just
league,
sickening.
the
Yeah,
whole league. They're the first team to reach 100 points this season.
yeah, 103 now. Yeah,
103. Oh my god.
sorry.
Oh, swing, oh, playing.
Yeah,
Ay, 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 caramba.
oi,
Yeah, they have to win the cup. I'm sorry, Lewis.
you know. But the best team doesn't always win the cup, though. As it's gone years gone by.
Right, right. Take the 2019 Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah,
They got
ousted in the first
swept
round,
by the Columbus Blue Jackets after winning the President's Trophy.
which doesn't mean squat.
Right, and then Jacob Verana to the Blues for Dylan McLaughlin, and a 2025 seventh rounder, and then Oscar
Mhm.
Sundqvist to the Minnesota Wild for a fourth rounder this year, 2023. So, how did your Rangers do?
Well,
Trade like
we we were supposed to get a good pick. I mean, well, a good draft trade, but so far um, we haven't done well. I mean, since Kane came over to the Rangers, they're 0-2 so far. Patrick Kane, that is, and he has done very little to help this team. And we've lost the first two since he came over here. What I was surprised at, the biggest shock of all the trades that they were going to send Jonathan Quick over to the Blue Jackets. You're going to send one of your best goaltenders to a schlub team who has no chance in hell to make the playoffs. Luckily, Vegas stepped in and took care of that. That would have been the dumbest move of the century.
yeah, Jonathan Quinn definitely does not want to definitely does not deserve to be on a losing team.
No,
Whoever, yeah, Jonathan Quick. Did he come from the LA Kings or was it from
yes,
another team? Oh
no, came
wow,
from the Kings.
the
He
Kings.
won two.
Wow.
He won two Stanley Cups with them.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I don't even know who won that trade.
I don't think anybody won that trade. Well, I think the Knights did since they got him.
Yeah, Blue Jackets
Yeah,
think they won that trade, but they need more draft picks.
Blue Jays got nothing. The Blue Jays got nothing this year. They're the last in the league.
Yeah, very last in the league. Let me.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, very last in the league. 32nd, 20, 37, and 6 with just 46 points. One behind the Chicago Blackhawks.
Losers.
Yeah, yeah. The Red Wings have now lost 5 straight. They're pretty
Uh,
much out of it. They lost to the Philadelphia Flyers in Philadelphia 3-1.
Whoopee.
John Tortorella's Flyers, who are now at 59 points. The Red Wings still at 65. Still 6 points back of the Penguins, but four teams in between. The Sabres, Caps,
Mm.
Panthers, and Sabres, Sens, Pens, and Caps. All at a four-way tie again. This time it's 68 points each.
Yeah.
So freaking weird, man.
Especially now.
Yeah,
I mean, because we got only what 5.5 weeks to go.
just about.
It's make or break time, people.
Yeah, but here's the deal with the Red Wings.
Okay.
Steve Eisenman said that there was no intent, no, there was definitely no intention of buying because my co-host of the Michigan Sports Truth podcast, Ed Smith, sensed that the Red Wings just aren't quite ready yet to
Ah.
compete for a playoff spot, and thus the Stanley Cup.
Obviously.
Especially after losing two route in 2 games in a row in Ottawa, both in route fashion, 6-2 and then 6-1. Crap like that is beyond unacceptable, just unforgivable. It just destroys your buyer's market. It consolidates and vindicates Yzerman's claim and Ed Smith's claim that the Red Wings just aren't ready yet. That's truth. That's based on truth. It's out there.
Yes.
That's what's true. True sports, man.
And sometimes the truth hurts.
Yeah. Yep. Hronek was starting to improve defensively, just not offensively.
Mm-hmm.
So, Tyler Bertuzzi, he was a goal scorer, but he was injury prone. Before that, he was restricted. He had COVID restrictions before that because he was not vaccinated. He refused to get vaccinated. That's his own fault.
That's right.
Jacob Vrana to the Blues. Jacob Vrana was out first due to injury, and then for personal reasons. He kept delaying and stuff, and he was sent to the Grand Rapids Griffins, and then he came back up, and now he's traded. And then Oscar Sundqvist, he did not produce much at all. Yzerman won all 4 of those trades.
Yeah.
Because not everything works out. Even whether it's in an Yzer plan or a Shanna plan in Toronto. Maple Leafs keep losing in the first round, but Maple Leafs at 84 points, up the Boston Bruins 103. The only second place overall team is the Carolina Hurricanes at 90 points. Yeah, that's 13 points apart. 13, Lewis!
13. An unlucky number.
The original lucky number, yes.
Well, unlucky.
Well, if you're a New York sports fan, yes.
Ha.
But otherwise,
I get it.
But anyway, second place overall is on the line, and Hurricanes and Devils neck and neck there. Both in the Metropolitan Division.
Yes.
Ooh. Yeah, the battle for first place is in the Metro is on the line. Yeah, forget the Atlantic. The Bruins are definitely going to clinch the Atlantic Division and the President's Trophy the way they keep winning.
If they haven't done so already.
2 points each, yeah. If they haven't done so, indeed.
Yeah.
Well, coming up right about now on your True Sports Report, John Morant. Oh my God, what the hell was he thinking?
Who say he was thinking? You put a handgun in a nightclub and what are you, stupid? There's a crowd of people there. You're putting Instagram on, and you carry a handgun. What are you?
You pulled something worse than Antonio Brown, for God's sake.
That's even worse. He was my idiot of the week last night on the show.
John Morant, yeah.
Yes. Our idiot of the week, which is a regular feature on the Enhanced Sports Show.
Yes. Yeah, check him out, 4 to 6.
On Saturday.
Used to be 5 to 7, but now it's 4 to 6 Saturday.
No, we had to make room for another person who does a show right after me.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
So it's back to 5 to 7 then.
No. We made room. No, I had to move from 4 to 6 to make room for the other guy who comes on from 6 to 7
Gotcha. Okay. Yep.
at
Yep.
the
That's
request of
true.
my boss.
Oh yeah, that gotcha. So it's 4 to 6 on the Enhanced Sports Show on NGSC Sports.
Well,
But
it's on
anyway,
in the zone actually.
in the zone. Okay.
In the
Yep.
zone.
In the zone. Yep. All right. So with that being said, take it away, Lewis.
All right, and away we go. Right now, we got a hot game going on between the Knicks and the Celtics. They're trying to go for 9 in a row here. Right now, the Knicks are up by 2, 112 to 110 with 16.2 to go. Oh boy, this is becoming quite a game, folks.
It's on
And
ESPN. I'm
that's
tuning
right.
in right now.
That makes two of us. All right, so here's the rest of the scores. All right, the Jazz beat the. Okay, coming up, the Grizzlies will take on the Clippers in a few minutes. ESPN will go to that game right after the conclusion of this game is over. The Suns over the Mavericks, 130 to 126. Devin Booker had 36 points and 10 assists. Kyrie Irving, you traitor, 30 points, 7 assists. Yeah, yeah, dirty, no good. Pacers over the Bulls, 125, 122. Al Burton, 29 points, 11 assists. Zach Levine, 42 points. He did not say anything on the assist. Okay. Lakers over the Warriors, 113 to 105. Stephon Curry back in action with 27 points, 6 assists. Oh, that's necessary. And Anthony Davis, 39 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. The Nets won their second in a row over the Hornets, 102-86. Smith had 15 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Mikal Bridges, 33 points and 8 rebounds. Blazers over the Magic, 122-119. Lillard had 41 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. Wagner had 24 points and 6 assists. 13. All right. The Rockets over the Spurs, 142-110. Baisley had 14 points, 6 assists. Porter had 19 points and 13 assists. Jazz Thunder, we just said that. The Bucks, yeah, last night they broke their 16-game winning streak. They lost, but they bounced back tonight with a win over the Wizards, 117-111. Greek Freak, 23 points, 13 assists, 10 rebounds. Beal, 33 points, 10, 9 rebounds. We're coming up on we have a tie game, I think. Nope, but a foul. 113-112 coming down the last 10 seconds of the game. Oh, boy. All right, let's check the standings here.
One
Right.
free throw coming up.
Oh, boy. Hang on to your seatbelts, everybody.
12.9
Okay.
seconds left. Fourth quarter.
But the Knicks had the final shot. Okay. So, in the Eastern Conference, the Bucks, 46-18, have a one-game lead with the Celtics, 45-19. The Sixers are 4.5 back at 41-22. The Cavaliers, 40-26, 7 back. The Knicks, 38-27, 8.5 games back, pending outcome of this game. The Nets are 36-28, 10 back. In the play-in spots, the Heat are 34-31, 12.5 back. The
Tie
Hawks,
game.
32 14 back. The Raptors 32-33, 14.5 back, and the Wizards 30-34, 16 back. And we're going to overtime. Okay, bring up the rear. The Pacers are 29-36, along with the Bulls, both 17 back. The Magic are 27-38, 19.5 back. The Hornets 20-46, 27 back. And for you Pistons fans, I'm sorry, 15-49, 31 back. Sorry.
Wow, that is way ugly.
Yeah. To the West, the Nuggets 45-19 have a 6-game lead over the Grizzlies at 38-24. The Kings, the much improved team of the year, 37-26, 7.5. The Suns, don't count them out yet, guys. 36-29, 9.5 back. The Warriors, 11.5 back at 34-31, and the Wolves, 34-32, 12 back. In the play-in spots, the Mavericks are 33-22, 12.5 back. 13 back are the Clippers at 33 and 33. The Pelicans are 31 and 33, 14 back, and 14 and a half back are the Jazz at 31 and 34. Lakers are not out of it quite completely as they're 14 and a half back with 31 and 34. The Thunder are 30 and 34, along with the Blazers, both 15 back. The only two that are really out of it right now in the West are the Spurs at 16 and 49, 29 and a half back, and the Rockets still grounded at 15 and 49, 30 back. Ugh, what a mess.
Oh man, it's a tie between the Pistons and Rockets at 15 and 49.
Wow. The Loser Bowl.
Hmm.
Okay.
Well, the NBA Tank Finals.
The Tank Finals. Yeah. All right, so tomorrow's schedule runs this way. Your 7 o'clock games, the Celtics versus the Cavaliers. The Sixers take on the Pacers. And the Blazers take on your Pistons. 7:30, the Hawks take on the Heat. 9 o'clock, the Raptors take on the Nuggets. And 10 o'clock, the Pelicans take on the Kings. By the way, the Hawks, Heat, and Pelicans Kings games are both on NBA TV if you have them. So moving on now to the ice, it goes. Let me go back to the scores here. So yeah, okay. Now going over to the ice, it goes this way. You're on the right page, you dimwit. Okay, so over to the ice. Okay, there we go. The Hurricanes blink the Lightning 6-0. Okay. The Kraken, the Avalanche and Kraken. Avalanche lead the Kraken 1-0. 12 minutes to go in the second period. Flyers over the Red Wings 3-1. The Golden Knights over the Montreal Canadiens 4-3. The Devils beat the Coyotes in overtime 5-4. Look in the standings, it goes like this. If you're a Bruins fan, you should be happy with joy. For the rest of us, not so much. As the Bruins are 49-8-5, 103 points. Disgusting. Creaming the rest of the division. The Leafs are second at 38-17-8, 84 points. The Lightning, 37-21-5, 79 points. The Sabres, much improved over the last few years, are 32-25-4, 68 points. Senators are 68 points at 32-26-4. The Panthers, 31-27-6, 66 points. The Red Wings, 28-26-9, 65 points. And the Canadiens, 26-33-4, 56 points. To the Metro. The Hurricanes, yeah, they still have a lead, but it's barely breathing at 41-12-8, 90 points. The Devils, 88 points, 41-15-6. Rangers looking like they're sliding back a bit, 35-19-9, 79 points. Islanders, 32-25-8, 72 points. The Capitals, 71 points at 31-22-9. Sorry, Steve. 68 points. The Flyers, 59 points at 24-28-11, 59 points. And the Blue Jackets, 20-37-6, 46 points. To the West, the Stars are 34-16-13, 81 points. The Wild, 36-21-6, 78 points. The Jets, 36-25-2, 74 points. The Avalanche are 73 points at 34-21-5. The Predators are 31-23-6, 68 points. The Blues, 27-30-5, 59 points. The Coyotes, 21-32-10, 52 points. And the Blackhawks at 47 points, 21-36-5. The Pacific Division, the Knights, 38-19-6, 82 points. The Kings, 36-28, 80 points. The Kraken, we're still tied, are 35-21-6, 76 points. The Oilers, 34-22-6, 76 points. The Flames, 27-23-13, 67 points. Canucks, 25-32-5, 55 points. The Ducks, 21-34-8, 50 points. And the Sharks, 18-33-12, 48 points. Oh boy. Tomorrow's schedule. Okay. The Oilers take on the Sabres at 7:30. The Sharks take on the Jets at 7:30. 8:30 is the Flames taking on the Stars. 9 o'clock is the Senators taking on the Blackhawks. And 10:30, the Capitals take on the Kings. And the Predators take on the Canucks. Late games for them. All right, I got some exhibition baseball if you want it. So here it goes. All games are final, by the way. Orioles over the Rays 5-2. Twins over the Tigers 6-2. The Red Sox over the Marlins 4-1. Pirates over the Twins 5-2. The Yankees over the Braves 10-6. Mets over the Cardinals 7-1. Astros over Nationals 6-2. Blue Jays pound the Phillies 16-4. Rangers over the Angels 7-5. D-backs over Guardians 6-4. Dodgers over White Sox 8-4. Royals over Giants 5-1. The Cubs over the Rockies 6-5. Angels over Reds 8-5. Mariners over Brewers 6-1. The Padres over the A's 10-3. Reds over the A's 10-4. Remember, some of these are using split squads, so if the same team is playing twice, you'll know why. No, I'm not crazy. Well, some might think I am anyway, but that's another story. And just for you XFL fans, okay, well, we'll do it anyway. Right now, I have 2 scores in. DC over St. Louis 34-28, and Arlington over Orlando 10-9. If you like defensive struggles, that was the game for you. And right now, New York is up by 1, 17-16. Okay. All right, so on to today's news. Avalanche defenseman Cale Maker has been cleared to play after suffering 2 different hits over an 11-day span, landing him in concussion protocol for a second time. Marker was ready to go, told reporters, as he played the Sharks last night. The Norris Trophy winner missed 5 of 9, missed last 5 games, and the last 9 of 10, with 2 separate incidences involving his head last month. First against the Pens on February 7th, and then took another hit with the glove against the Blues on February 18th. Well, it looks to be ready to go now. We hope so. Okay. The Washington Wizards are signing Australian forward Xavier Cooks from the ABL and work through the 23-24 season. Cooks will join the Wizards as soon as the ABL is completed. Cooks comes to the NBA on a contract and becomes the 5th Australian player to make the NBA. Cooks is a forward and is regarded as a switch defender with excellent passing skills. Cooks played his college career at Winthrop, going undrafted, but is considered one of Australia's best all-round players and was the league's most valuable player. Yeah, but then again, we have Ben Simmons from Australia, and what has he done? Absolutely nothing at all. Enough said. All right. Well, he said the Bruins were on a roll, and they still are on a roll, as yesterday they won their 10th straight victory over my Rangers. Linus Ullmark made 24 saves in the game. The fearsome foursome of Patrice Bergeron, David Pastrnak, Charlie Coyle, and Thomas Nozak scored in the win, and Tyler Bertuzzi scored an assist. Oh boy. Pastrnak has 44 goals in the season this year, as the Bruins have 103 points and are, you ready for this, guys? Their home record alone, Revis, 26-2-3. Absolutely sickening. I'm gonna go throw up.
Savage.
Yeah. Ugh. Okay. Grizzlies forward Brandon Clark is done for the season after he suffered an Achilles tear, as told by his agent Mark Bartelstein of Priority Sports. Clark left Friday's game against the Nuggets late in the first quarter. He started to limp after missing a free throw and then fell at midcourt. He was helped to the locker room and was not able to put any weight on his left leg. Before the injury, Clark averaged 10 points and 5.5 rebounds. What a shame to lose him, though. The Miami Hurricanes basketball team earned the top seed in the ACC tournament and share the title with Virginia. Wolga Popular had a career best 6 3-pointers, scoring 18 points overall in the win against Pittsburgh. We're tied again. It was a fun celebration, but we know we're not finished yet, says guard Jordan Miller. We still have big plans ahead for us. Miami shares the ACC crown with Virginia as they clinch the share after they beat Louisville last night. This is the 6th time Virginia shared a conference title. Conference tournaments start this week, folks. Well, the Bucks may have won tonight, but last night their 16-game winning streak came to an end. Finally, as the Sixers beat them in a come-from-behind victory. So, to continue on here, the Sixers were outscored. Hold on. James Harden was with the Sixers with 38 points and 10 rebounds. Joel Embiid had 31 points and 10 rebounds. The Sixers outscored the Bucks 48-31, the most points they scored in a single quarter since 1972. Both Harden and Embiid provide a pop pick and roll game. A combination at 1.7 points per chance. It was the most efficient game since Embiid and Harden became teammates. And it looks like, well, there's still time. However, Harden scored 19 of his in the fourth and was 5 for 9 shooting and scored the most points in the game since December 28th, 2020 as a member of the Rockets, when they were still decent. This was the Bucks' first loss since January 21st, despite strong performances by the Greek Freak, who had 34 points and 13 rebounds. Drew Holiday and Brook Lopez each scored 26 points. The Sixers are third in the East despite Tobias Harris suffering a calf injury and PJ Tucker with back spasms, who did not return to the game. Coach Doc Rivers was not certain how serious the injury was and is not positive if either will play against tomorrow's game against the Pacers. It was a much-needed win as the Sixers have a rough stretch ahead, facing the Warriors, again the Bucks, the Suns, and the Mavericks. Not going to be easy, folks. Okay. Moving right along. All right, on to the ridiculous story of the week, as I mentioned. Memphis Grizzlies guard John Morant's live video where he displayed a gun at a nightclub has prompted an investigation by the league. We are aware of social media posting on Morant. Our investigating, said NBA spokesman Mike Bass. Morant's live Instagram session was at 5:19 p.m. on Friday, hours before they lost to the Nuggets. Morant, who was tied going to a second overtime. Okay. Morant was dancing shirtless and rapping along to the music at the club, was seen holding a handgun in his right hand. The video came in the wake of Washington Post story that detailed 2 instances involving Morant over the summer, resulting in police reports, but yet not an arrest. The second incident, which was the most serious, according to police reports by the Post, a 17-year-old boy alleged Morant first was home with a gun in his waistband in his hand on the weapon after a fight broke out between the boy and Morant during a pickup game in his backyard. The other incident involved a mall security guard in the parking lot. Wow. NASCAR fans are going to hate me for this one. Chase Elliott will be out for a while after undergoing surgery for a fractured tibia, said by General Manager Jeff Andrews. Andrews said there was no timetable for his return. Elliott injured his leg while snowboarding in Colorado, and Josh Berry drove his number 9 car in Vegas today. Of all the dumb things athletes do to get injured, that takes the cake. Snowboarding. Get out of here. A day before a race. Free agent center Nerlens Noel signed a 10-day contract with the Nets, as told by his agent George Langberg. After completing a buyout with the Pistons this week, Noel is joining a Nets team that needs size from the bench. This is his
Well, it's
sixth
last
team
week
in,
now.
it is his sixth team in 9 seasons. Talk about a world travel player. He averages a measly 2.6 points, 2.3 rebounds in 14 games, and 3 starts prior to the buyout. Yeah, you gotta do better than 2 points. Big deal. When Stephen Curry went down with a lower leg injury last month, it became the Warriors' goal to stay afloat. After surviving 11 games without him in November, the Warriors thought they could do it again. But now Curry's return has come. The Warriors did more than that, as they went a 5-0 homestand with the win over the Pelicans. The Warriors went 7-3 without Curry and were 4 games above 500, fifth in the West at the time of this report. So they're doing fine without him. The team has figured out their roles. I think we're in good condition, says Klay Thompson. We're all having fun, how important these games are the rest of the way. We want to do all we can to get home court advantage, especially in the first round. So it's a challenge, and it's theirs for us to take. In each of the last 4 games, the Warriors came back from double digits down. This is the first time that they won 4 straight after trailing by double digits. Go factor that in. Now for the choke of the week. On Friday night, the Nets went into Boston Garden, and it looked like their fifth loss was going to happen as they played the Celtics in TD Gardens. The Nets were down by as much as 28 points, and in most cases, the game was over. I mean, because it's pretty difficult to blow a 28-point lead. But the Nets had other ideas. At one point in the game, the Nets turned to each other and said, "We are not going down like this." And in a strange way, it brought us together, said forward Cam Johnson. It also became a catalyst for a remarkable turn of events as the Nets came all the way back from 28 down to beat the Celtics for only their second wins at the trade deadline. Well, now it's their third from tonight.
I
This
wonder
was
if
the
they got
longest.
rid of Ben Simmons before then.
I don't think they did. I wish they would. Go back to
Hmm.
Australia. Go chase a boomerang over a kangaroo. Oh. Anyway, this was the largest comeback by any team in the league this year. Jaylen Brown scored 25 points for Boston, and instead, I think we took our foot off the gas pedal a little too soon, and that time went from a sure win to the ultimate choke loss of the year. You certainly did.
I don't see
Jason,
Simmons on the Nets roster.
oh, good. That's a blessing. Jason Tatum has scored 22 points and 13 rebounds and 5 assists, and was 10 for 13 from the line, but 0 for 8 from 3-point range, and that might have played a factor in that as well. As expected, Max Domi will head to the Dallas Stars. The announcement was made yesterday. Domi, along with goaltender Dylan Wells, in exchange for goaltender Ashton Kubota and a 2025 second round draft pick. Those of you who are old enough to remember, like me, Domi had his father, Ty Domi, who played for the Toronto Maple Leafs and probably was voted the most dirtiest player in the league during his heyday. Oh boy, he was a dirty player. Orlando Magic forward Jonathan Isaac underwent surgery to repair a torn adductor muscle and is out for the rest of the year. Isaac underwent an MRI on Wednesday, and
I don't know. Simmons might be suspended. Either that or he might be injured because he's still on the Nets roster.
unfortunately, yes, yeah,
But they won. But he did not play again. Like, he did not play in Boston at all.
mm.
He might be injured or suspended. I haven't
I
heard.
think he's injured. I think he's injured.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But he's a
Isaac underwent.
liability. He averaged 6.9 points
Oh
per
yeah,
game, 6.9 rebounds per game, 6.1 assists per game.
he's a catastrophe. Isaac
Yeah.
underwent an MRI on
Just like he used
Wednesday.
to be for the Philadelphia 76ers.
Ah, the Sixers' downfall right there. Yuck. Yeah,
The process has failed, and it's Ben Simmons' fault.
it is. What
TSO
a
Sage.
what a bum. Isaac underwent an MRI on Wednesday, and when the
Passes
injury
the
was
ball too
diagnosed,
many times.
He'll be sidelined after only playing 11 games the entire season. He missed 2 full seasons from a torn ACL in the bubble season of 2020. Boy, when rains it pours. Okay, and as I mentioned before, the Golden Knights have acquired LA Kings goaltender Jonathan Quick in a trade with the Blue Jackets for goaltender Michael Hutchinson on Friday, along with the 2025 7th round pick. The Blue Jackets will retain 50% of Quick's cap hit. It was a pending unrestricted free agent in his final year of his 10-year, $58 million deal. This was the second transaction in just 48 hours for Quick. The longtime Kings goaltender was included in a blockbuster deal with the Blue Jackets that said Joonas Korpisalo and defenseman Vladdy Garbuk to the Kings, and Quick a conditional first-round pick and a third-round pick going the other way. Quick was not happy with the trade and stayed in LA, while Blue Jackets GM Jaro Kellerman was looking for a suitor for Quick before the deadline. The Knights were a perfect match as they are a key rival to the Kings. And I can't say I can't blame him for not being happy with that trade. Because why would you trade into a team that doesn't have a prayer to make the playoffs? Dumb. Really dumb. Yeah. All right. This doesn't get a lot of attention because it is a small school. But you might be familiar with this area because it involves your city, Detroit. With only a handful of seconds left between him and immortality, Detroit Mercy star Anthony Davis launched a three-pointer, but Davis missed as time expired and came up short of tying Pistol Pete Maravich's record for most points in Division I basketball of 3,637 points. What's worse is they lost to a first round to Youngstown State in the Horizon League tournament. Davis is a rare fifth-year senior, entered Thursday night's game needing 26 points and finished only 22 points in the loss. Afterwards, he said though he felt good about returning for a fifth year, and his father Mike is the coach. Davis was not only looking to break the scoring record, but to land Detroit Mercy to its first big dance in over a decade. Just special Davis of his career and had the opportunity to play for his dad. Detroit Mercy said they will welcome an invite to the CBI or another postseason tournament, which would allow Davis to continue his quest to break the record. The Titans did not have a great season, though, as they're only 14-19 overall and 9-11 in conference play. But I did hear that they did accept an invite to the CBI, although not really deserving. Well, Dave Pastrnak scored a major deal, 8 years and $90 million, but they also became the fastest team to score 100 points in a season on Thursday after a 7-1 thrashing over the Sabres. Jacob Lanko scored twice. Dmitry Orlov had a goal and 2 assists, and goaltender Jeremy Swayman stopped 26 shots despite losing. And Brad Bouchard to a lower body injury as they won 9 straight on Thursday. They reached 100 points in their 61st game, surpassing the 1976-77 Montreal team, who reached 100 points in 62 games, although that was an 80-game season back then, and there was no overtime or shootouts at the time that happened. Pavel Zacha, Patrice Bergeron, and Connor Clifton also scoring the victory. The bright spot for the Sabres was Casey Mitchell's lone goal. Yuka Pajarankova stopped 35 shots. And the Knicks are up by 5 with a minute 21 to go. Come on. The Bucks emerged as strong favorite to land free agent Goran Dragic, and that has already been made, so he is now involved in his second 10-day contract. Okay.
Back to a 3-point game.
Yeah. The Hornets announced that 3-year point guard LaMelo Ball's season is officially over. The Hornets announced that the three-year point underwent surgery on Thursday on his fractured right ankle and will miss the rest of the season. Ball was injured in Monday night's victory over the Pistons. Ball was limited to 36 games this season. He sprained his ankle 3 times this season and cost them 27 games. Wow. He averaged 23.3 points per game, along with 8.4 assists, 6.4 rebounds, and 1.3 steals, playing in 35 minutes per game. During the 5-game winning streak, Ball made at least 5 3-pointers. Ball is expected to make a full recovery, but the season for him is over. Well, they're not going anywhere anyway. Moving along. Very disturbing story here, what happened. Gunman left a threatening message for Lionel Messi after attacking the supermarket owned by his wife's family in Argentina. Police confirmed the report on Thursday. As many as 14 shots were fired at the shutters and front door at the market called Unico in the district of Rosario early on Thursday morning. 2 individuals on a motorbike. There was damage to the store, but no one was injured, thank goodness. Police also said the attackers left a threatening message note on a piece of cardboard. It said, "Messi, they are waiting for you." The man known as Javarkin is a drug dealer. He will not be looking after you. An investigation was underway. Pablo Javarkin is the mayor of Rosario, in the largest city in the central province of Santa Fe, about 186 miles north of Buenos Aires. He's the mayor and he wants his head. Okay. I don't get that at all. And the McGann says whatsoever. Alabama's men's basketball team are the SEC regular season champs. They brought out signs celebrating a title and cut down the nets after an overtime win against Auburn on Thursday night. This was a hard-fought victory as the Tide came back from 17 points down for the win, the biggest comeback win in over a decade. It was a contest that saw 3 of Auburn's starters, Jalen Williams, Joni Broome, and Alan Flanagan, foul out, and 2 players from Alabama got ejected for leaving the bench after a verbal tussle between Auburn's Wendell Green Jr. and Kendall Johnson and Alabama's Javon Quinterly, who appeared to toss the ball to Broome after coming out across the lane for a steal. Quinley, who was lead time with 24 points, then bumped into Green, causing the chaos. Rylan Griffin and Charles Fatico came off the bench, running towards the altercation as the rest broke up the fight, and both players got ejected. Alabama coach Nate Oates was worried that the players were losing momentum at the time of the argument. It was part of a 16-point run that got the Tide back into the game to force overtime and came away with a win to grab the SEC regular season title. The conference championship begins on Wednesday. So we'll move on from there. Dylan Larkin is staying put with the Red Wings. Defenseman Philip Hornick is being sent to the Canucks, along with a 4th-round pick in exchange for the Islanders' 2023 first-round pick and the second-round pick. The Red Wings' decision to move on from Hornick came as a surprise, raising questions if the team was on the verge of another move. The former second-round pick led defenseman with 9 goals and 38 points, averaging more than 21 minutes per game in over 60 games so far this season. The Red Wings, at this time of the report, were 5 points ahead of the Pens for the last wildcard spot, but now you can kiss that goodbye.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everything's got to end sometime.
Yes, it's true. All right, Philly slugger Bryce Harper is set to report to camp on Wednesday as he continues to recover from his elbow surgery, and then will determine if he can play full-time or not. The 2-time MVP was injured last April and played at right field in Miami. He underwent elbow surgery in November, causing him to miss spring training. He has a lot of catching up to do when he heads to Florida, such as adjusting to the pitch clock, which is something all pitchers need to do here. It's going to be a different game, of course, with myself and a lot of the other guys. I've been playing this for a long time. It's going to be different seeing baseball being played to a time clock, but it's just something we have to all adapt to. We will see what happens going forward. Harper was in Las Vegas as the Grand Marshal of NASCAR Peninsula 400 and is a native of Las Vegas, and that is still his off-season home. The A's are considering a move to Vegas when the lease expires at the end of next season. Oh, why not? They can't find a home in Oakland. New York Jets left tackle Brown is going back for his 17th season. Told by his agent Kennard McGuire. Brown said, last season it took time to consider his future, being speculation of retiring, said Coach Robert Saleh on Thursday as he ran into Brown in the weight room, and that was maybe giving a clue about his intentions. Brown started his first 12 games with the Jets in his first season and earned the respect of an organization as he played through the season with the rotator cuff injury, or as we say, played through the pain. He was injured in training camp after signing a 2-year, $20 million deal as a free agent. Brown postponed the surgery till after the season and missed the first 4 games, but came back as the star at left tackle after coming off injured reserve. And don't look now, guys, but I think the Knicks have done it again. Let me check that. The game was over. It took 2 overtimes. And let's see if we can get the score here. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And yes, they do. 131-129 for their 9th straight win. Oh, yeah. Love it. 9 straight wins. All right, so the A's are mulling a possibility of moving to Southern Nevada. Vegas officials insist the time is right for Vegas to have a major league team. Vegas has a AAA team since 1983 and is currently the affiliate of the A's minor league association. Vegas is set to host a preseason matchup between the A's and the Reds. Vegas has always been a unique sports market, says President of AAA Aviators Don Logan. It makes sense. My perspective is make the best deal possible in Vegas to start to turn the community on and every other fan base on. Logan also acknowledged that a retractable roof stadium will be needed during the summer as the temps soar to 110 degrees. And that's in the shade. Vegas has been looking to bring the A's to Vegas since 2004. Vegas was associated with the Padres from 1983 to 2000, the Dodgers from 2001 to 2008, the Blue Jays from 2009 to 2012, and the Mets from 2013 to 2018 before teaming up with the A's since 2019. The A's came to Oakland from Philadelphia in 1968, and they've also looked into Fremont, California, and San Jose, as well as a waterfront site in Oakland. But I think it's safe to say their time in Oakland is done after next year. The New York Giants, are planning to release wide receiver Kevin Goodlay on March 15th, the first day of the new league year.
Or was it Kenny Galladay?
Galladay, yep.
Kenny Galladay?
Kenny Galladay.
Yeah, that's a former Detroit Lion.
Yeah, I knew
that. Get him back.
Yeah. The Giants will save $6.7 million cap space. Galladay was set to count for $21.4 million against the cap. He was for $4.5 million this season. Okay. The former Pro Bowl receiver for your Lions was a massive disappointment since he signed a 4-year deal worth $72 million in the 2021 offseason. Okay. He has been hit hard with several injuries and was not even part of the Giants' receiving rotation by the end of the season. Galladay finished his Giants career with 43 catches, 602 yards, and 1 touchdown, which came against the Eagles in the last game of the regular season. Galladay spent his first 4 seasons with the Lions eclipsing for 1,000 yards twice, including 1,190 yards and 11 touchdowns in 2019. Huh. Very impressive. And keeping up here. Wow, 9 in a row for the Knicks. I love it. Yeah. Okay, moving on here. Okay. At the NFL Combine, Eric DeCosta was asked if he would consider trading quarterback Lamar Jackson at some point, and responded that two teams have made more trades since he became the Raiders general manager 4 years ago. I said, I covet great players, and I love Lamar, DeCosta telling reporters at the Combine, so it has not factored in with me. Well, not yet anyway. What we want to do is what's best for the team. We will try to do what we can for Lamar. We want to do what's best for the team. DeCosta expressed hope that a deal can't be reached before next week's tag deadline, despite no agreement so far. If there is no agreement reached by then, the Ravens will have to use the tag to keep Jackson to becoming a free agent. The tag would take up all of the Ravens' cap space and severely limit what they can do in free agency, which includes signing a wide receiver and a starting quarterback. You can't win without a strong quarterback. That has been proven to DeCosta. So we rely on Lamar here. He is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He is one of our best players, and we want him back. According to sources, Jackson wants a full guarantee like the one they gave to Deshaun Jackson. But the Ravens have been reluctant to offer that because Watson's deal is more of an outlier than a percentage. DeCosta calls it a tough negotiation with Jackson, who is one of the few high-profile players to represent himself rather than an agent. Representing yourself. What a concept.
Arrogance.
Yeah. Okay, now for the disturbing story of the week. Well, one of them. Former Georgia starter for Jalen Carter, who was expected to be one of the top draft picks in next month's NFL draft, has been charged with reckless driving and racing in conjunction with a crash that killed a teammate and a recruiting staff member. The Athens County Police Department issued a warrant issued on Wednesday by the Associated Press, alleges that Carter was racing his 21 Jeep Trackhawk against a 2021 Ford Expedition driven by staffer Chandler LaCroix that led to the January 15th crash. The announcement came hours after the Atlanta Journal-Constitution that Carter was present at the scene of the crash, later providing shifting accounts of the wreck to the police. Devin Wilcox, the defensive lineman, and LaCroix were both killed in the crash. Carter is at the NFL Combine this week, He was scheduled to speak to reporters as part of the scheduled media availability, but a league spokesperson told reporters that Carter would not speak to reporters because he and a number of players were undergoing physicals. Details of the investigation were released on Wednesday, cited evidence that Carter and LaCroix were operating their vehicles in a manner of racing before the crash. Something you should have been doing anyway. Just unthinkable. Moving around along here. Okay. Oops. All right. As the World Baseball Classic gets underway, fans will see two different versions depending on whether the games are being played in the US, Japan, or Taiwan. In the US and Taiwan, fans can cheer on games without wearing masks, as Taiwan dropped the mask mandates just this past week. In Japan, though, it's a bit different because as COVID rules are changing more slowly, cheering will be allowed, but fans must still be wearing the games at all times. The first 3 days began playing in Taiwan and Japan, from March 8th to March 10th. U.S. play begins on March 11th in Miami and Phoenix. The tournament that features 20 national teams ends on March 21st in Miami. The powers from Asia include South Korea, Taiwan, and Australia in the Asian bracket. Latin America, Colombia, Mexico, and Dominican Republic, and Puerto Rico, and Venezuela, Panama, and Nicaragua. The U.S. and Canada will also be represented by strong teams. Yeah, okay, good luck with that. And it's not going to be easy. That is not going to be easy. And of course, a lot of players are trying to decide whether to play in the WBC Classic or stay with their respective teams during spring training. Not an easy decision to make at all by any means. As the World Classic begins on Tuesday. Red Sox lefty James Paxton suffered a grade 1 strain on his right hamstring and is likely out for the opening day roster, set by Alex Cora. Paxton left an outing Friday after feeling leg discomfort. Cora says unclear how long Paxton will be out, but the injury seems to be the least severe, so it can't be too long. Paxton missed all of 2021 after going Tommy John surgery while pitching for the Mariners. He signed with the Red Sox last season, but was on the injured list while in recovery.
The Knicks beat the Celtics 131 to 129.
Yeah, 9 in a row. Love it.
Yep. That's 9 in a row for you.
Now
Quickly,
have the longest...
Emmanuel Quickly with 38 points. A career high.
And now there's the longest active winning streak in the league right now.
Yeah.
The Patriots have informed quarterback Brian Hoyer is being released for the free agency deadline on March 15th. The Patriots have Mac Jones and 2024 fourth round pick Bailey Zappi at quarterback, and at least one more signal caller this season. Hoyer started one game this season, which was in Week 4, a loss to the Packers in overtime after Jones went down with a high ankle sprain the week before. But Hoyer was knocked down in the game in the second series with a concussion. Hoyer then went on the injured reserve list for the rest of the year. He had a year left in his contract, including $1.4 million guaranteed money for 2023. This doesn't happen much in spring training, but I'll bring it up. A rare moment in spring training happened on Friday as 6 Cubs relievers pitched a combined no-hitter against the Padres. It was the first no-hitter in spring training of any kind since 2017, when the Angels blanked the Mariners. I'll be damned. Okay. How long? Yep. At the combine, Michigan cornerback DJ Turner ran the 40-yard dash at 4.2 seconds on Friday, although not a record, but very impressive. This was the 4th fastest 40 in the last 20 years. Wide receiver John Ross' time of 4.22 was the fastest time on record. Vikings cornerback Cameron Barnes had 4.23 last year.
Go Blue.
Yeah. Turner, who was 2 years at Michigan, was the fastest in 2 groups on defensive backs and were on the fields and workouts on Friday. Players are given 2 attempts at the 40 in each of the combine workouts, but Turner did not run the second. Turner started 14 games last season for Michigan and ranked 155th overall, but 5th among cornerbacks. And despite 2 players suspended for racing incidents, including Jalen Carter's booking on Wednesday in connection with the January 15 crash that killed a Georgia football player and a staff member, head coach Kirby Smart says this is not a culture problem. Really. Smart said, we are far from it. When you talk to people outside the program, they come into it and talk about what a great culture we have, and we are doing an incredible job in doing so. I have a lot of outside sources that come in the program and pour into these young players. Do we have the perfect players? No. But I promise that the intent for us to grow and make them better. And I do feel we have a good culture with the program. Smart said that in his first interview, since offensive lineman Devin Wilcox and analyst Chandler McCroy were killed in the crash. And he and his staff have worked on to educate their players about the dangers of racing. Carter was arrested on misdemeanor charges on Wednesday on reckless driving and racing and jailed before being released on bond. Linebacker Jamon Dumas Johnson was a finalist for the Buckus Award and was arrested on the same charges last week. If you ask me, he should be arrested for murder. And probably will. And last but not least, the South Carolina women's basketball team won their 7th conference title in the last 9 seasons with a win over Tennessee. Zia Cook scored 24 points, and Alea Brown scored 18 points to win the SEC championship and earn an automatic berth in the NCAA women's tournament. The Gamecocks finished undefeated 32-0 to win their 7th title. Boston was named MVP of the tournament. She said it was a total team effort to get here, from freshman players to the most experienced players. Everyone was buying into the process. Third seeded Tennessee did not go away quietly after taking a 3-point lead in the second quarter of the game. The Gamecocks then answered with a 16-4 run by Cook and Boston to open up and get their 38th straight win dating back to last season. Okay, that's it for me. I'll turn back over to you.
All right, so this has been True Sports episode 40. I'm Taylor Phillips. He's Louis Tenor. Sometime later this week on the Michigan Sports Truth podcast. Hang on a second. There we go. Yeah, I didn't need that. But anyway, sometime later on the Michigan Sports Truth podcast, Ed Smith and I will talk about the Red Wings not being quite ready for playoff contention, and the Lions running back situation, whether they re-sign Jamal Williams or not. So, with that being said, Louis and I will be back Sunday night at 10.
Okay.
Ta-ta. Hit him with a
Good night,
high.
everybody. We will.